Hi and welcome to Aquatic Mike. So today we're going to move some of the fish that we've been talking about for a while. This is the 222 liter tank or 59 gallons, which will be moving fish to. The footage you're about to see at first is taken in June this year, and since then the Corydoras, Blendens, Ainus and CW010's been sold. I also retired a couple of them that didn't have the right characteristics. Some of them were sold to local fish stores in the Gothenburg area, and some were sold to the Halmstad area, and also a couple to the Tvååker area. Some went to an auction that took place near Gothenburg as well. Blue star antlers still remain in the tank, and as you can see, there's Corydoras splendens, which were previously known under the name Brocky splendens. These are F1 juveniles, and there's also Corydoras CW010s, F1 juveniles, and Corydoras Ainus, the aquarium strain. Ainus is known to come from Trinidad, although this is the aquarium strain. Brock is from Brazil, Rio Tacantis and Rio Paraguay. There's also splendens in Peru from Rio Ampayacao and Rio Nane and Rio Ucali, and they're also known to be in Ecuador in Rio Napo. The tank contains a slimline background, a couple of sponge filters, a couple of roots, and some hornworth or Ceratophyllum demersum near the surface of the tank. Oh, and there's also a hypancistris somewhere underneath the sponge filters or underneath the roots. So without further ado, let's get moving to one of the 63 liter tanks and start emptying the CW010s. Hang on. So here we are at the first 63 liter tank. Time to net some of these CW010s up. Quite tricky this, trying to film with one hand, picking or netting the fish up with the second hand. And there's a couple that are rather small in this tank, so I'll be leaving them in the tank and just picking out the ones with decent size, so there won't be too much competition for the small ones for food, and then the small ones will remain in the tank with the next batch of fish, although they won't be CW010s, but you'll see in a bit. Now this would take me forever with one hand, so like I won't be filming all the netting of the fish, but you'll see them in the cup here now, small lumps of gold. About halfway done now. tad quick here without the interior. As you can see, the percentage of the small fish is slightly increasing, but I'm picking all of this with decent size up, and now we're off to the 222 liter tank to let the fish in, 59 gallons. So here we are, there's the hornworth near the surface, and we'll be cupping quite a few of these in. I'm near dropping the cup in a little, so the clip's cut here. Otherwise, you could have counted for me how many I'm about to let into this tank, cause I don't really know. It's somewhere between 100 and 200. Despite being stressed, they retain their color quite well. What do you think? Now we'll soon be moving back to the 63 liter tank, and I'll show you the few fish I kept in there before they received their new friends in there. So we'll speed this up a little. So hang on, one sec. Back at the 63 liter tank. Now you can see the few fish I kept in here. They're rather small, so it's just so they don't get out competed for food. Interior's back inside, and I'm picking up the other couple fish that I caught in here. There's another cup to let back into the 59 gallon tank, or 222 liters. So let's speed this clip up as well, one sec. So, are you able to count them all? I want at least. But here's another bunch. Now we're moving back to, we're moving over to another 63 liter tank, and we're drawing the CW010s and the Corydoras melanotuenia from there. Although the melanotuenia are not going to the same tank, they're in another tank. So hang on. Here we are. I tried to withdraw these fish with one hand as well while filming with the other. It's not something I recommend. I won't bore you with all the netting, so I'll soon have picked all of these up and we'll start sorting them out, cause, well, there's two species in here. Here we are, all caught in the same cup. Now I'll be sorting the CW010s out from the Corydoras melanotuenia. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little, shall we? nearly done. Time to get rid of some bubbles. And in the left cup we've got CW010s, and in the right cup we've got the Melanotoenia. The Melanotoenias also go into a 59-gallon tank or 222-liter tank. Their tanks divided into two compartments, however. So here we go, now they've settled a little. Time to let the fish into their new homes or the new grow out tanks. We'll start off by the Melanotoenia. So here we are, the Melanotoenia compartment. There's also L. tigurendulus within this compartment, and there's Corydoras, Natereri and CW9s at the bottom as well, other than Melanotoenia. Almost dropped the cup again, so another try. Here we go. I forgot to count how many there were that I was letting into the tank. Probably could now in the video though, but as you can see there's a couple of larger Corydoras in the tank. A few Melanotoenia and also Corydoras Natereri. The Natereri are quite careful eaters, or they're not especially forward, so I don't think it will be a problem, despite a few of these Melanotoenia are a bit on the small side so far. Now we're off to let the CW10s in. Sadly I've got duckweed in the tank. Here they come, the small lumps of gold. Quite a few. Some of them slightly on the small side, but it should be fine. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little, since they don't really wanna swim out. Now, as any aquarist will know that breed fish, is that you can never have too much space. So we'll make use of the space we made in those 63 liters straight away. Here's a compartment with some small juveniles. Can you guess which species? Now, I would guess that the most of you, or well, like some of you may have guessed that they're Corydoras paleatus, although these are small F1s from Corydoras longipinis, a species native to Argentina and also Paraguay and Uruguay. There's two compartments with this, so we'll be withdrawing the fish from both of these compartments, and also a different tank that won't be shown in the video. I forgot to film it. A 40-liter tank, and we'll withdraw a bunch of them. Make use of the 63-liter tanks. So we're back at the 63-liter tanks with a few CW10s, the small ones that I let remain. So in here we'll be depositing some Corydoras longipinis. Now trying to do that with one hand again while filming, so had to take a cut. So here we go, dropping one of the batches in. pretty even size with the CW010s as well. So they all should be able to compete for food. Cute little buggers these, aren't they? Sorry for, well, probably touching the microphone slightly with my thumb while filming. So here comes the next batch of longipinis to let into this tank. Hopefully they'll put on some size in here. And here they are. Now, all of you may not have seen this species before. So here comes a picture of a fully grown male. In my opinion, they're quite cool, especially because of the long, elongated dorsal fin. What do you think? Nice, huh? Now, should you come across this species, it's only the male who get the elongated dorsal fin. The female does not. Now it's been a while since I took all of this footage until today when I'm compiling it all. But I'm curious to hear whether if you've got any favorite species of Corydoras, or it could be a Slurmistax or Aspidoras, or, well, let me know in the comments below. As you may have understood by now, I'm a bit of a Corydoras enthusiast. I don't have a set species that I favor in front of all of the others, but a big group that I find rather attractive. Quite a decent group in here now, and as we've freed up some space in the other tank where this came from, we'll be heading over there, or well, we'll be heading over to some newly hatched, if I recall right, they were Corydoras pygmaeus, although they've been moved along since. So here I am at one of my hatching containers where I'll be picking up all the newborns, putting them over where the Corydoras longipinis came from. As you can see here, I'm using airline tubing to withdraw the fry from the little container. Quite a lot of the eggs hatched, so that's always good. and there's quite a few to pick up here, so we'll speed this up a little. Now we'll soon have made room for new eggs to hatch out, and now we're off to the compartment where we're letting this fry in, where the longer penis came from. Here you can see that there's quite a few of them. I believe these were Corydoras pygmaeus. Time to let the little fry into the Corydoras longipinis previous tank, or compartment rather. They don't look like much for the world when they're, well, near enough freshly hatched. Often I use a smaller jar for this, but I just took what I had in hand since I moved the Corydoras longipinis now. And sometimes, depending on what size the tank is that you're going to put them in, initially after being hatched, it may be better to, well, let them remain in the hatching container for a while. This tank's quite small, but I might have had even better success rate if I had let them remain in the hatching container for a while. And as you can see, there's some not Corydoras, some Planorbis snails in here, just to eat up whatever food that the fry may not eat. So here we are, back at the 59 gallon tank, or 222 liter. I just wanted to show you this and also the other 63 liter tank where we put the longipinis juveniles, meanwhile feeding them, just to, well, see whether if we've got a good stock level, and show them meanwhile they're well, not as stressed as they were just after arriving. This tank, or this clip, and the next one's speeded up by a couple of 100%, in case you were wondering. So here they are eating some newly, or what's it called, decapsulated Artemia. And as you could see in the 59 gallon tank, we've still got room for quite a few more. So we're about to head over to a couple of more grower tanks and empty the CW010s, or well, both CW010s and some other species, but the CW010s going to the 59 gallon, and well, the other species are also going to 59 gallon tanks, but different ones. So we're about to arrive at I think it's 30 liter tank or something like that. empty out. Hang on. Here we are at the, well, approximately 30-liter tank. I've already removed the interior. As you can see, there's Corydoras CW010s in here. A couple's too small to move, but they'll just have to stay in this tank with the next batch of fries. And there's also some CW023 and some Aspidoras Poesilus. I can't remember whether there's any CW9s in here. I can't spot any now, but it could have been. So time to start fishing. I didn't film me netting these up, but I netted them up and sorted them by species. Don't think I filmed where I put the CW23 and the Poesilus, but when I'm getting done in this tank, we're moving to another, I think it's like, well, 35, 40 liters, maybe probably closer to 40 liter, and also picking up some Corydoras CW10 and, well, whatever else there is in that tank that's decent sized. So hang on. So now we're getting to the approximately 40 liter tank, and as you can see, there's quite a few in here as well. I didn't film me netting this out either, but we're about to arrive at the 222 liter tank to put this fish inside of there. So here we are, time to cup in the first batch. Have you counted how many they are? If so, you can add a bunch of more. No? Pretty even and decent size on most of these. Should be working well. I was trying to count them when I put them all in, but eventually I think I gave up. Since I dropped the cup a little early, I know that the margin of error is at least some 10 to 20 fish anyway. One cup in, second to go. And since it's been a while since I took this footage, quite a few of these will soon be put out on the market. Time to make room for new juveniles. So as these will soon have been let in, we're heading over to another compartment where there's a mix of species, but there's a couple of CW010s which we're also withdrawing and putting in the ones with decent size here. So here we are. As you can see, there's some CW010s and there's Corydoras thereby, and Corydoras trilineatus, and what else is there? I believe there's a couple of Corydoras eversi as well. There could be more, I can't remember, but those are all that I see for now at least. So we're withdrawing all of these fish. And now they're all caught, so we're off to let some of the Corydoras trilineatus into a 59-gallon tank. Not all that many of them, but this is a mixed tank, so you'll see quite a few different species in here. We'll go through them another time, so I didn't film this 59-gallon all that much, but there's some with that size or large enough that I should retrieve them. So now we're over at the Corydoras Dubai grow out compartment. So I'm letting this in here, although they're a bit smaller than the ones who's already there. They should be fine. And there's also some mixed endlers in here. They're large enough to compete with this, despite that there are some that are quite close to fully grown in here as well. So now we're heading over to the 59-gallon tank with the CW010s and letting them in there. So here we are, another batch to let in here. Getting to quite a decent number for this tank now. And as you can see, there weren't all that many CW010s in the previous compartment. So we're heading over to another compartment retrieving some out of there. Um, there's Corydoras CW010, Corydoras schultzii, black, and Corydoras nattereri, um, Corydoras venezolanus, and Corydoras CW9 in here as well. I can't remember, there might have been some Corydoras melanotuenia in here as well. Yeah, there are. And we'll be picking out all the CW10s, melanotuenia, nattereri, and possibly some venezolanus as well. I can't remember. They might have been. I might have let them stay in there. So now we're back at the 59-gallon tank, letting the CW10 in here. And if you watch real closely now, you'll see that apparently I missed Corydoras melanotuenia. You can see it now. And I retrieved that out of this tank after this video. So it's back with the other melanotuenia, which we're letting in here. And as I previously spoke of, there's melanotuenia, nattereri, and CW9s in here. Although I thought the stock level's enough for this tank, so I let the CW9s remain in the previous compartment, and I moved the nattereri and the melanotuenia. So now we're back at the 59-gallon tank with the CW10s, and this is shortly after the move, just feeding them a little to show you what it looks like after just having recently moved them. There's also a clip after where I'm also feeding them, but it's more recent in time. And as you can see, the tank doesn't look all that overstocked, especially not when all the fish are in one corner feeding. They're enjoying the food quite a bit. Have you ever seen an aquarium store nearby you stocked like this? Let me know in the comments below. We're about to get to the clip that's well, from a couple of days before this video comes out. So this is the tank today pretty much. There's two L398 plecos in here as well now. It's one male and one female. And since the previous clip, I also brought a couple of these CW10s to Norway at a recent auction. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this little mini-series about me moving fish, and I'd appreciate if you shared, like, spread, and became a subscriber. Thank you a lot, and have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of the clip. Good day.